Jennifer Delano. You are about to watch an episode of the Prosperity Show where I'm talking about writing a bestseller, more women in leadership roles, and why you should be passionate about free publicity as well.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another exciting episode of the Online Prosperity Show. I'm your host, Prosper Tarovinga, and today we have a remarkable guest joining us. She is the PR guru herself. Jennifer, how are you doing today?
Thank you so much. Wow, what a way to get started. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. I can't wait to jump into this episode because for those that are meeting Jennifer for the very first time, prepare to be amazed because she's not only just a #1 management book author, but she's also the talk of the town in the Netherlands PR scene. And hence, we've got her on the show today. And she's also the force behind PRGoeroes, a company that's focused on making the small to medium marketing world famous, especially in the Netherlands there. Now, Jennifer, it's quite fantastic to have you on the show today. Could you just give us a glimpse of who you are and what it is that you do at PRGoeroes?
So thank you so much for having me. What I do at PRGoeroes is, as you also said, making B2B service providers world famous in the Netherlands. And what I mean with that is finding great news hooks, get these news hooks translated to media pitches, press releases, and do whatever is necessary to get this message across and published. So that's basically my main job at PRGoeroes. Besides that, I do that for a lot of tech related companies, and I see that I do promote a lot of men. I mean a lot of men, and I don't mind. However, I see that as the female part of tech is hardly visible. So that's why I created this platform, Dutch Tech on Heels, and DutchTechOnHeels.com. It's English. We try to showcase women and their businesses and their work in tech, showcase that, make them visible. We will also launch a podcast ourselves, and then we try to just show these women, so other women who might look at a potential career in tech can also be, can start with that, feel good about this, and know you're not the only female entering this exciting tech scene. And yes, it's fun to work in tech. So that's basically my volunteer. But that's a lot of volunteering work. Not to say it's costing a lot more than there's no revenue coming from that, but it's something that's good for the soul.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for looking after, first of all, the girl child and women out there, because representation matters. When people see someone who looks like them, acts like them, it makes it easy for them to aspire to want to become that. Now, for you, PR has been something you've been doing for a while. What was the inspiration? Did you see someone in PR and say, hey, I want to be like that?
Yeah, people often think that, but no, I'm really good at PR. And I found out that it has a name. It's called PR, and you can actually make money from this. As a child, I once went to this opening of a radio studio. I was a little child, I think I was 6. And my father took me, and we went there, and then they let everyone say something, or there was an opportunity to say something. So also, when they gave me these headphones, and I was talking to this microphone, I was like so excited about it. I was like, oh my God, it's like, this is great, It's like, that's something that I always remembered. I also did a lot of things for the good. So I didn't eat for 24 hours, raised money with it, got some publicity around this. Also went to the radio again for this to tell people about this thing. Once then I didn't eat for another 24 hours, and you had to make a t-shirt with, you had to make a picture with you in a certain t-shirt from with some kind of tagline on it. And then you need to gain some publicity, and with the publicity you got more money for, and it always in some kind of way, I was really good at creating this kind of buzz, although although I did this in my early years. And once I had, this what made the turning point for me to really to get PR. Once I won this writing contest, I did a lot of, I like to write. So I wrote, I won this international writing contest, and they made us, they made every winner to go to Belgium to pick up the prize. And you also would gain some money for the library of your school. And there was no teacher that wanted to drive us there. So first he was promoting this contest, then I was winning it, and you didn't want to go and drive me there. I was a minor, And I was so angry about this. So I called the journalist, I made him come. They made this picture of me and my friend. And then we were bitching about it in the newspaper. And it turned out to be a whole page about this school failing their students. And I was so excited about this. And I was like, this is such an interesting world. And so basically, I got into this whole, creating media buzz, from all kind of, winning games, prizes, writing things, doing things for the good and creating some buzz around it. And then later on, I found out that this is actually something you can do as a job. I read this book, PR for Dummies, and it was like, oh my God, this is actually something you can do and earn your money with. And it was like, I was so excited about it. And I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm good at this. I like this game. Since that day I started the PR agency, and I'm still doing this, and we're 20 years further.
Wow, congratulations.
Yeah.
Now, did you save the cutting for the newspaper that you had a full page? Because that really should go into a museum now that you are the PR guru.
I have no idea where it is, but it is somewhere. Yes, I got it somewhere. No idea where, but yeah, that's where it started. Yeah, that's where it all, that's where the buzz started. And I did a lot of creative stuff also in my early entrepreneurial days, organizing fashion shows to ask attention for peace, or creative stuff to get good things towards the media. And you can say everything about the event organization or how good the creative stuff was, but the media, just like the media was always there, always showing up, always making pictures, putting it on television, radio, and publishing about it. The media was always there, I got that media part always right.
Fantastic. Well, that's something that might just have been a calling, because at that age, if you have the courage and you're not even afraid to call a newspaper to come and feature you guys and
our story.
And I quite like that story from a very young age. So you went on, and obviously things were happening in between. Then you started your business, like you said, 20 years ago, PRGoeroes. Can you tell us what that was like? Especially, I think maybe 20 years ago, there was not much of the internet going on. What was the process and the procedures like as compared to what you guys have to deal with today?
Well, it was a total different time, especially with all these social media coming up. I saw them all coming up. I was, Hives. We had Hives in Holland. It was like, I was so big on Hives.
Wow.
It was so big. And now everyone is like, what's Hives?
What's Hives?
So it was a really interesting time. And it has yeah, it basically a lot disappeared as well. A lot of newspapers disappeared, a lot of blogs disappeared. We were blogging a lot, and you didn't ask money for it. You just blogged. So now in the days, everyone is an influencer. You should pay money. It's immediately marketing. It has nothing to do with PR anymore. And in the early days, there were not that much of possibilities to monitor things. So I was in a library a lot, just going through all these newspapers and see what has been picked up and what not. Can you imagine? And then with my BlackBerry, making pictures of it. Yeah, like the horrible pictures if you compare it to now. So yes, it is a total different it's a total different ball game.
Do you miss the
Total
old
different
days though,
ballgame.
or because were things easier then, or are things a lot more easier now but competitive?
Everything has their up and down, the good sides and bad sides. That's the whole thing with change. There are things that change for the good, and there's things that change for the worse. There are a lot of websites, and they're easily to reach because you just email. So that makes it easier, but there are a lot of newspapers that disappeared where I had really nice connections. Yeah, that's sad. So they're it is what it is. We live in a different world now, and you got to do what you got to do. But as a business, it's it is a different ball game. And to do good marketing, and PR is a part of this whole marketing thing that you do. You need to step up your game. Normally, if you just have a good website, you would be fine. But now, if you have a good website and you don't have social media, that's suspicious. How can you be trusted? So you need to, if you want to do it right, you need to do a lot more than you used to.
But you've grown your business now, you've got a team, and there's a whole lot of stuff that's going on there. Tell us what your day is like as a PR agent.
How does my day look like? Well, the day is never the same. Like every day is a different day. So today I'm podcasting. The next day, I have people on my podcast to talk about free publicity. I have a free publicity podcast, and where I answer all kind of questions. During the week, I'm gathering all these questions about PR. There's no such thing as a dumb question. I always say there's no such thing as a dumb question. It's only good input for my podcast. So, because I know everything, kind of everything about PR, if my level would be a 10, I try to make the podcast to a level 5, and it's still pretty high because some people have no idea what PR is. Even if I make a PR planning for them, they still have no idea what PR is, although I explained it to them like 3 to 5 times. So, what do I do during the day? I write, I call people, I email people, like, what kind of, is this kind of news something you could work with? Shall I connect you to the owner of this company to have a chat with? I prep people for interviews. So whenever they will be called by a magazine or radio or a television thing, I call them, and if necessary, some clients I don't have to do anything. If they just be themselves, they're fine. But some clients need a little bit more attention, and I'll prep them for interviews like these. So just to make sure that they know, what's the focus, what is it, the message that I try to get across, where should I start saying it? As I earlier mentioned when we previously spoke, once I went to this radio station, I had no idea how long we had. So I just had a great time. And then halfway, I found out that the radio show was not 30 minutes. It was like 7, and we were at the end of it. At the end of the 7 minutes. And I didn't have said anything about my business yet. Wow. So, then you're basically too late. So I tried to, this was a long time ago, learned a lot from it. I explain this to my client as well. Immediately start with what you want to get across, and then later on you can just talk.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
So
it's
not
not a
just
podcast. It's not an hour podcast. It's radio. They're on the clock, and you should hurry. So yeah, a lot of diverse tasks.
Absolutely. And so many of the things that you would be helping people with is newsworthy or newsjacking stuff where you are basically listening to what's happening in the market or
Yeah.
in the news cycle, and you start looking, do you have a client that can talk about maybe AI? Do you have a client that can talk about things of that nature? So obviously you have to have your hands on the pulse all the time, because what I've thought basically for a PR agent is, as you see in the movies, you get somebody with a form, get you to sign, and then you look at the magazine and say, all right, we approve that, and the photo shoot, and then you give them directions, and that's what I thought.
Sometimes that is the work. Yes, sometimes you do crazy stuff like this. Yes, you read through a magazine, read through an article, and you need to approve it or not, or client asks you to. But I try to work with clients who know what what the point is they want to get across. They know their mission, their vision. They got their clients, their whole marketing is still. They got everything going, but well, they kind of forgot a PR. Or they got everything and now they want PR. Like that's the reason why they start with PR. And so they can read their magazines and approve it themselves. My clients are pretty, yeah, how do you say that? Adults when it comes to,
Yes,
to what they want. Yeah.
absolutely. Because you work with tech companies. They obviously are on the pulse with their products, and they're already creating, and they actually understand what they need to be bringing about. So when we sort of started, you mentioned something about women not showing up a great deal in the tech space. Is that something that's just in Holland, or is it something that you're finding across the board?
I found it, I'm seeing this like everywhere. Yeah, it's a thing. It's not a tech thing only in Holland. You see this at multiple levels or multiple. You also see this at retail, but also other kind of businesses. They once did a research and to see where women and leadership, where is it going wrong, and they looked at this big companies and little companies, like why are women stuck and don't show up at boards, basically. And they saw that in Holland, especially in Holland, women don't get towards this, first leadership level, let's say the first management level in companies. We are doing the worst compared to all the other European countries. Like even Poland is doing better. And I'm like, we're full of, oh, we got it so together here in Holland. And I'm like, no, we don't. Like, if you don't give women the chance to work on their management skills at the first level, how are you supposed to get them towards the second level, the third level? In the end, how do you get them towards the board? So this is this lack of equality that we experience here in Holland. And the tech is just one of these places where you see this. It's just one of the places. And I'm just shocked that I promoted a lot of people and a lot of businesses. And when I do promote a woman, it's because their boss or their other C-level someone paid me to do it. So I hardly am hired by women. So that's why that's why I was really curious, like what's going wrong here, and what can I do to change this, and that's how I started up, building a platform, podcasting these women, and then give me a couple of weeks, but then later on I'll showcase them one by one through my social media channels, tag them in it so they can also show themselves towards all these contacts they have.
Absolutely.
And share their story, basically. Yeah.
Absolutely. And you said it's called Tech in Heels.
Dutch Tech on Heels. Yes.
Tech on Heels. Absolutely. I'll definitely see how I can check that out. Now, just coming back to PRGoeroes, you do mention you work predominantly with tech companies. Could you maybe give us maybe not specific examples, but the type of businesses that you have actually helped and have worked with, that we can have an understanding of the kind of work that you put out there?
I'm proud of every client I work with, but yes, I will highlight some of them. Currently, I'm working on the promotion of Vector, which is a VR, AR, XR company that also combines XR and AI. So let me put it in normal words. Yes, when you would buy a virtual reality glass, I'm sure you like to put it on and see something. If you like to see something and like I say, a dinosaurs in real, you need a company like Vector where you can choose to place a dinosaur in the room where you are and look at it.
Wow. Okay.
Just a little example, but you can also easily build something, and put it in a place. For instance, if you would like to sell, let's say, some kind of washing machine,
Right.
just to give an example, you can showcase this, put it in the Vector Studio, build it, place it, and if people have questions on it, you can combine it with AI. Very simple. You just use a couple of sentences and that's it. And then AI starts to explain what it is. This is a washing machine. And you can add how old the people, if you want this for children, then AI will explain it on that level. If you like this for adults, it explained on that level, and later it will also explain it in every language you want.
That must be
this is a very innovative company.
That must be
and I love it. It's unbelievable how fast they grow and how good they do.
Well, thanks to your work, because they're working with the PRGoeroes and you're putting it out there, for them to work. Now, not only are you good, in showcasing how good a business is, you've also written a book in management. And, that is something that maybe would have come up while you were managing your own team. Could you maybe share a bit about this book and what actually motivated you to start writing this book?
Yes, it's called it's called Nee Zeggen Loont. It's a book about saying no when the client doesn't fit your business. And it's it's very interesting to do business while talking about getting rid of clients that you don't want to work with. That is also kind of challenging as well. But although it is a good book and it's good stuff. I in the old days, whenever I start my PR business, I met a lot of clients that totally did not fit my business. It happens to everyone. However, it's really hard when you start to recognize these people and to find ways to quit working for them or just say no, or no one helps you with this. Everyone talks about this at the coffee machine, but no one really talks about this. Like, how do you handle this? How do you choose the right clients? And if you're working with a client that is totally not a match, like, how do you get rid of this? How do you do this? And in the old days, I started a blog spot, like everyone did long time ago. And I blogged a lot about these issues that I had. So I blogged about this. I'm not paying you anyway, client, some cheater who, let me work for a while and never pay the bill. And then I would sum up like what's happening, where could I've been, what kind of hints did I miss here? What did I learn from this? How could I have, taken this differently? How could I've handled this better next time? How will I, how will I act differently? And I also made some kind of stars, 1 to 5 stars, how much energy, how much money, and how much time it did cost me. I blocked like 60, 70, 80 of these. Like, it's like, I went bananas last 10 years. I blogged a lot about it. And it was great. And every time I shared one on Facebook, everyone was lyric about like, oh my God, I recognize this. I know these people. Well, I have a story for you. Everyone had a story for me. And I was like, there is some energy on this, I should do something with it. Like, I got something here. And during Corona, where we had a lot of time to think about everything, I was like, I should do something with this, with this content, but also with all the learnings I had as an entrepreneur. And, we should talk about this instead of, letting people find it out themselves the hard way and the very expensive way, time-wise expensive, but also money-wise expensive way. So I pitched it to some publishers. It seems like I just called someone and then it was like a done deal. No, I pitched it for 1.5 years.
Wow.
I talked to every publisher in Holland because I wanted a good one, a really good one, or I was not going to write a book. And I found the perfect one. And in the end, later on, I got pretty frustrated because it took 1.5 years. And I found out that the person who in the end signed me was not at that same place 1.5 years before. So basically, I don't know, the planets had to be in a certain point, and then it was time. So she signed me. I wrote this book. My VA made me write this book because we had a deadline coming up, and I was like, yeah, I take a holiday in the summer, and then I'm going to write. But I'm an entrepreneur. I don't take summer holidays off and write. Come on, I don't do that. Like, I work. That's I love it.
Yes.
And then she said, okay, Jennifer, you got 3 months left.
Ooh.
How are you going to write this book? And I was like, And then she said, you need to write in the weekends. And I was like, I'm not going to write in the weekends. I need some time to rest as well. And then she said, okay, then you need to create some time during working hours. I said, no, because I need to work and my clients deserve it. And then she said, are you going to wake up earlier or are you going to sleep later? Because those are the only time blocks you still have. And I said, okay, I'll sleep later. I'll write in the evening. So every evening I wrote at least 1 paragraph. And sometimes I would, if the inspiration hit me, I would also write in the weekends and other times. But at least I wrote every evening 1 paragraph. And I had a book 3 months later, and it was a pleasure to write it.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That is such a story.
Do you want to see it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let me grab my poster.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Well, this is the book.
Oh, wow.
This is me. And this is one of these posters
For the book.
that hanged literally in the bookstore to let people know they should come to the opening and the launch of the book.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah. You really know how to create a buzz, because obviously a lot had to be done in order to get everyone to come and
sell it. Oh yes, a book doesn't sell itself. No, absolutely not. I learned so much about getting a book sold. Like, it was so much work. You have no idea.
Absolutely. Has it
People
been
talking
translated?
about it so easily.
Fantastic. Has it been translated to English there?
Almost. I'm working on it. It will be, I launched it in Holland, dus in the Netherlands,
Yeah.
a couple of months ago. I called everyone I knew and just to ask to buy it and how many they want to buy. And that's how I got into number one for weeks. So it did really well. I will publish it in Germany upcoming, well, this year. So I expect it in half a year. And I'm basically working towards my English launch, kind of the same moment. Yeah, like if you go out in Germany in German, why not immediately go out in English as well? Work
Well,
in progress.
at the end of the day, if ever you want to launch it in Australia, then you know the platform to come to, and
Absolutely.
we could actually get started on that. Now, you mentioned something about the lockdowns and things of that nature. What was it like in Holland during lockdown? Because around here, not so much was moving. You know, everybody was just on a standstill. What was it like for you guys there?
That depends on how you look at it. The first lockdown, it was really nice weather. So I had a daughter who needed to go to school, but she was really young, so I didn't have to put her at a lot of homework. So she could play whatever she wanted to play. That was nice. However, the first Monday I lost all my clients. That was not that nice. So on a business level, it was horrible. The first lockdown, it was like every client called me and said, Jennifer, we love you. We love your work. Thank you so much for all you've done. How do we get rid of you?
Ooh.
And because everyone thought their business would be killed in months, because everyone was pretty worried about their turnover, and because they were worried, I had to worry about mine. Like, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I had a lot of clients waiting for it. This was in April something. And then they were first waiting to June, and then they were waiting for September. And I was like, yeah, I got to eat. People, I need people to hire me, otherwise I can't eat here. So business-wise, it was a struggle. But yeah, well, it was a challenging situation. So the first weeks I called just everyone just to ask them, all the prospects and the clients, how are you doing? How are you going to do this whole, children at home, you can't go out. Like, how are you going to do this? Can I help you? Some people I called more often because they immediately came in a real big challenge. So that's basically the first weeks I just was helping and make sure that everyone was okay. And if I could do that, I would help them in some kind of way. And then I just started this game of networking online. Yeah.
Wow.
And in the end, I built my business up, with a method of, 4 conversations, 3 plans, 3 proposals, and finding 1 client a week. That's how I did it.
Well, congratulations. And
Yes, so the first lockdown, business-wise, a challenge, and the second lockdown, it was in terrible weather. Everything was closed, and I was not happy at all. So that was more mentally challenged than the business challenge. I was so done with it. And I can tell you, I'm not sure if I can stay at home again if they would ever do another lockdown, because it seems like the whole world was like cheating on these rules.
yeah.
Everyone was like meeting people, drinking coffee together, la la la. I was not. And I suffered from it. So I'm not sure I'm able to do this again. Not sure.
Well, let's talk about your current focus now. Can you tell us a little bit about Get Growing by Free Publicity initiative that you've got going, and how can entrepreneurs benefit from that?
Yeah, my current focus is creating 1 billion euros of free publicity in the upcoming 3 years for innovative B2B service providers in the Netherlands or from the Netherlands. So yeah, I'm looking for innovative companies who have Holland as one of their, one of their markets, let's say, and who need help to show themselves, to make themselves visible, trustworthy, to show their expertise, but also let people know that they're in the market. And I would love to have a chat with them and see how I can help them with, gaining some publicity and show their innovative work.
Absolutely. And how can people join this initiative and especially contribute to your $1 million, target in media coverage?
Yes, in media coverage. It's free publicity, huh? So it's a great way to get a lot of exposure without paying all these. That's the whole thing of free publicity. It's the opposite of advertisement. So you can create, like, with 1 month of work, I could create like $1 billion or millions of publicity just by one great media hook. So it's a great opportunity to showcase your message with a big bang. Yes, people can add me towards their social media channels, Jennifer Delano or PRGoeroes. You write gurus with an O and an A or an E. O and an E. Yeah, I now say it right. GOEROES.
Yeah.
And you can also visit my website, PRGoeroes.com. However, if you type in Amsterdam or the Netherlands, Jennifer Delano, PR agent, I'm sure you will find me as well.
Absolutely. Well, this has been a remarkable journey. I mean, from 6 years old, while you're, inviting journalists to your school to now, on a mission to get $1 billion in media coverage. That's remarkable journey, all in a space of 30 minutes in this episode. So I really appreciate your time on the show today. Now, what can people expect in the future? I mean, you've done almost everything, and I know right now you're working on the $1 billion initiative, but there's got to be more to Jennifer. Is there any books in the horizons, any more podcasts, or any more groundbreaking activities that you've got lined up there?
Well, first, let me get this book towards some other languages. Let just first start with the whole book. That is in the near future. I can oversee this. I see myself writing other books? Might be. I do have some ideas. That's a crazy thing, that whenever you write one, you get ideas for new ones. So yes, I do have some books in mind. Maybe more or new initiatives to showcase women and the capability, because equality is a big thing, as you mentioned before. It's not only equality when it comes to men and women. There are more equalities that we need, but I think that the men-women equality thing is something I clearly see, and I can really become really, like, how do you say, they're angry about it. So when I'm angry about something, I get passionate about something and I want to do something. So that might be something I'm doing. And I just hope to one day to launch a new Boyan Slot. Boyan Slot?
Well,
the guy who takes care of getting rid of all this plastic in water. I want to find new Boyan Slot and launch them in the media, like, big time.
Oh, fantastic. Making our seas a lot safer and a lot cleaner, one Boyan Slot at a time. So, fantastic. Well, there you have it, folks. A very captivating journey through the world of PR with the incredible PR guru herself, Jennifer Delano. And if you're looking to make a business stand out, PRGoeroes might just be the missing piece that you need to jump onto. And Jennifer, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing your insights. I mean, I learned a lot about PR, more than I thought I would get from this show today. So thank you once again.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. And to our listeners, please stay tuned for more episodes on the Online Prosperity Show, where we're going to be bringing you inspiring stories and actionable strategies and success. And be sure to join the $1 billion initiative from Jennifer, because, yeah, free publicity is always out there for the taking. Just make sure your business is newsworthy. Thank you so much. It's me just signing off. Until next time. Bye for now.